Today, we're going to dive into a digital map that's really changing the game for one of the planet's most critical rainforests. And trust me, this isn't just about some lines on a screen. No, it's about transparency, it's about protection, and it's about the future of an entire nation's natural heritage.
So, to get started, our story begins in Papua New Guinea, a country that is truly defined by its absolutely massive and vital forests.
I mean, just look at that. Papua New Guinea, or PNG as it's often called, is home to the world's third largest rainforest. It is just this incredible, breathtaking carpet of green, packed with species you just can't find anywhere else on the planet. And the health of this ecosystem, it has a direct impact on our global climate, which really makes its future everyone's business.
But that massive scale, well, it creates a huge problem. How in the world do you keep an eye on something so immense? How do you track logging, protect wildlife, and plan for the future when you can't possibly see the whole picture at once?
So, how do you solve a problem that big? Well, the answer isn't just about sending more people out into the forest. It's about getting a smarter view from way, way up, bringing all these different pieces of information together onto one single unified map. And that solution has a name, a Geo-Portal. To put it simply, think of it like a super-powered digital atlas. It's one single website that takes all this geographic data from dozens of different places. We're talking forest boundaries, river systems, roads, you name it, and layers them all onto one interactive, easy-to-use map. And what you're seeing here, it's basically the shift from total chaos to real clarity. Before this portal, all this crucial data was scattered everywhere. The Climate Change Authority had its maps, the PNG Forest Authority had its own, and they weren't talking to each other. This system changes all that. It pulls all that siloed information into one place, so finally, everyone is working from the same playbook.
And look, this thing didn't just appear overnight. It's actually the result of a really long-term commitment. It was launched back in 2017, and it's been consistently upgraded ever since, with big improvements in 2019 and again in 2023. This timeline really shows a serious, sustained national effort to embrace this kind of transparency and data-driven management.
Okay, so we've covered the how and the why. Now for the fun part. Let's actually take a look under the hood. We're going to go on a quick tour to see what this powerful tool can actually show us.
So, beyond all the technical stuff, what does this actually look like in practice? What kind of information can we really see with our own eyes?
First up, let's click on the climate change layer. This gives us our baseline, the 2015 land use map. It basically classifies the entire country into different categories like primary forest, farmland, and towns. This map is the foundation. It's the starting point for tracking how the landscape changes over time.
Okay, so that's the natural state of things. But what happens when people and industry get involved?
Now watch this. You switch on the Forestry tab, and boom, a completely different picture emerges. This layer maps out every single logging concession, both the active ones and the ones that have expired. For the very first time, anyone with an internet connection can see exactly where commercial forestry is happening. That level of transparency is, well, it's revolutionary.
So we can see where development is happening, but what about the places where it absolutely shouldn't be?
Well, that's where the environment layer comes in. It answers that exact question. It maps out key biodiversity areas and other conservation zones. These are the environmental hotspots, the places that are so important they need to be protected no matter what.
And believe it or not, that's just scratching the surface. We're talking about layers for agriculture, maps of mining claims, warnings for disaster risks like landslides, and even data on water resources. It pulls all of this information into one place. The sheer amount of data here is just incredible. But here's the thing, just seeing each layer by itself is only half the story. The real magic, the real power, happens when you start connecting them. You see, this is where the portal goes from being just a collection of maps to something so much more powerful. Its true strength is in its ability to overlay them. So, for example, you can start with that map of critical conservation areas. Then, right on top of that, you can add another layer showing, say, a proposed new road or a logging operation.
And this right here shows you exactly what I mean. On the left, you've got the biodiversity hotspots. On the right, the land's topography and its watersheds. By combining them, a planner can see in an instant if a new project is going to be built in a sensitive, steep area that could cause massive erosion and pollute a vital water source. That kind of insight? That was basically impossible before. And just like that, you can see potential conflicts before they happen. You can spot risks, you can ask better questions,
And most importantly, you can make smarter, more sustainable decisions that balance the country's need for development with its incredible environmental treasures.
All right, so let's pull back for a second. What is the big picture impact of this single powerful map? Why does it matter so much?
So what's the ultimate mission here? Well, when you boil it all down, it comes down to 4 key goals. First, to share data openly with everyone. Second, to centralize it so everybody is on the same page. Third, to help meet global climate targets like the Paris Agreement. And finally, to make sure that climate programs designed to reduce deforestation are completely transparent.
There's a quote from the source material that just nails it. It says, "The portal aims to become a monitoring tool for government agencies as well as a planning tool for both public and private sector stakeholders. It's not just for looking at the past, it's for actively shaping the future."
So at the end of the day, you have to realize, this is so much more than just a website. It represents a whole new standard of transparency. It's a powerful tool for accountability that gives everyone, from citizens to scientists to policymakers, a clear, honest view of what's happening to one of our planet's most vital ecosystems.
And that really leaves us with a powerful final thought. Papua New Guinea has created an incredible blueprint here, a model for how to responsibly manage a country's natural treasures. So the question we're left with is this: what could our world look like if every single nation had a map this clear to protect its future?